Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to install the Tusk Zipperless Upper Doors on your Can-Am Maverick X3. Now these are a great addition to your side-by-side. They can help keep you warm in cooler conditions, and if things heat up throughout the day, you can simply roll them up and out of the way so you get airflow into the cab. Now with that being said, these are going to work with a Tusk or aftermarket windshield. They work with that stock roof. They're straightforward to install. Let's go ahead and get started. To start out, we've laid out all of our hardware in order. That's going to help us stay organized throughout the process. And now we're going to prep our filler panels. First thing on the filler panels is we're going to apply some of this foam tape. So we need to clean these off on the inside. We're using just some rubbing alcohol and a rag to do that. And this foam tape, it's going on the same side as the magnets. We're just going around the perimeter on the opposite end of those magnets. You can see we have just a little bit extra. I'm going to trim that off. Then we'll do the same on the other filler panel. Now we're going to take the M6 by 30 millimeter button head bolts. We're going to put a washer on each one. And then there's 5 slots across each of the filler panels. You're going to come from the outside or opposite side of the magnet. We're going to go through that. We've got a spacer on that inside and then put an O-ring. And the O-ring is just going to hold everything in place while we get these filler panels installed. Now that we have the filler panels prepped, we're going to head over to the machine. Now it's going to be a lot easier to get everything installed if you have any accessories around the roll cage removed. So for us, we're going to remove the roof and our windshield. We also have these grab handles we need to get out of the way as well. Next, you want to put your loop clamps onto the roll cage. There should be 5 for each side. And this flat edge, that's going to be facing the outside of the machine. So we've got 2 right here on the A-pillar. And we've got 2 across the top. And then 1 in the back. To install the filler panels, we're going to use the 5 bolts that we previously installed and go through both holes in each clamp. And then you've got a nylock nut on the back side, and we're leaving all of the hardware loose for now. Now with everything still loose, we need to align the filler panel. So there's 2 holes in this gusset going along the A-pillar. We're just going to line that up right there. You should be able to slide your clamps where you need them. So we're looking pretty good right there. Now, you have 2 different sizes of bolts that go through that gusset. You've got the shorter bolts and the longer ones. The longer ones are for anyone running accessories. The only accessory we are running on this right now is the grab handles. So we're going to be using these shorter bolts. We're going to take a bolt, a washer, and then if you didn't have grab handles, you just thread these nylock nuts on the back side. But for us, we're just going to thread them right into that handle. And before I tighten those down all the way, I'm going to make the final adjustments to the filler panel and just make sure it's squared up on the roll cage, and then I'll go back through and tighten everything down. And ideally you want that foam tape just gently resting against the roll cage. Now I'm going to use a 10 millimeter combo wrench and 4 millimeter T-Allen to get everything tightened down. And you'll notice we do have a few other clamps around our roll cage, and that's just for our windshield. The next step is to hang the door skin by the magnets. You'll notice the correct side will have the Tusk logo at the bottom and the magnets at top. And these magnets are just going to sit on the inside of that filler panel, and they should suck right into place. Now with that being said, we've got 4 hook and loop straps at the back. The 2 smaller hook and loop straps, they're going to go around the back of the filler panel in those 2 slots. The longer hook and loops, they're just going to be tucked inside, and those are just there for when you roll the door skin up. Now at this point, it's really important to make sure you're happy with the fitment of the door. If you're not, you want to loosen up the filler panel and make adjustments, because we're going to start installing the snaps, and once those are in place, you're not going to be able to move them. So that's looking pretty good right there. We can go ahead and start installing the snaps. When you order these doors, typically they come with the screw-in snaps. You do have the option to get the stick-on snaps. We're going to show you both ways. I'm going to start with the stick-on snaps first. To get these in place, we're going to start at the middle of the door, and I'm just going to stick this on, put it in place, and then we're going to clean underneath the area that we want to stick it. So I'm using some rubbing alcohol. You can use some adhesion promoter as well. Then I'm going to remove that adhesive backing. To stick this in the correct spot, you just want to make sure the window is pulled snug. You don't want it too tight. You don't want to force this down. You just want to take any slack out. Make sure you're centered up and press that in place. And then we'll move on to the next one. I'm going to move towards the back of the door, do all the same steps. So this next one, I'm going to use one of those screw-in snaps. Just going to put a little grease on the end right there. And we have that grease ring. We're just going to use a drill and screw that snap into place. And as soon as it bottoms out, you want to stop. You don't want to strip the plastic out. And then I'll just finish up with those last two snaps. Now for the 3 magnets in the front, you can see where they're sewn in at those little pouches. We're going to clean underneath those. And then one at a time, you want to set a magnet on the inside. We're going to clean these off. And we have the 3M adhesive you're going to apply to each one. And then one at a time, I'm going to stick these in place. I'm going to start at the front. I want to make sure this is sitting in a good spot. And I'll just work my way back. From here, you just need to do all of these same steps for the other side. And once you're done, you can reinstall any accessories that you previously removed. Now really quick, I want to talk about other accessories that you would be using with this. So that would be the mirror mounts and the light bar mounting bracket. Now we'll start with the light bar mounting bracket. If you're running this, it's going to fit in between the filler panel and the frame, just like that. And if that's all you're running, you're going to use the shorter bolts all the way through and then those nylock nuts on the back side. But if you're running the mirror mounts, you're going to need the longer bolts. Now for the mirror mounts, you'll notice that one of these brackets has a bend. So this is going to be your passenger side mirror mount. And what we're going to do is take one of the longer bolts, install a washer onto it, go through that mount. Then we've got a spacer on the back side. So we're looking just like that. And then once you have both bolts mounted onto this, you can push this through the filler panel all the way through that gusset, and then again the nylock nuts on the inside. Now that we have our accessories reinstalled, I'm going to show you guys how to roll these up. So first thing you want to do is undo your snaps, and we're going to pull the door down off the magnets. Then I'm going to start in the front, and I'm going to roll this in towards itself. And as you roll this up, you want to keep it as tight as possible. So once you have this towards the back, it's going to be sitting on the inside of the cab. I'm going to pull these straps out. We're going to wrap this top first. And then right here for the last part, kind of helps if you collapse this just a little bit. It's going to keep it tucked up and out of the way. And that's it for installing the Tusk Zipperless Upper Doors on your Can-Am Maverick X3. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments. And if you need to pick a set of these up, they're available on our website. Just click that link below. We offer free shipping on orders over $75, so take advantage of that. And we also have a separate install video for the Can-Am Maverick X3 Max, so the 4-seater. So go check that out and subscribe to our channel. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.